the Stars and the Carolina Hurricanes. We told you about Cam Ward. Now, here's Kari Lettinen again.
Yeah, 10th start in the last 11 games for Big Kari. Just the 2 road wins at Arizona and at Los Angeles in that span. And he looked like a frustrated guy at the end of the loss in Chicago the other night.
And so it's Cody Eakin. He doesn't have a point since an assist at New Jersey on October 24th. He's missed 3 games in that stretch, too. And Jamie Benn on his left, Tyler Seguin on his right, Eric Staal in the middle for Carolina. Staal has just 3 goals in 12 games this season. Jiri Tlusty is their goal-scoring leader. He's on the left, number 19. He's got 7. That's Staal shutting it down. Lindholm, who's also had a very good November. The youngster, the other guy on the line going in there and pounding Alex Goligoski. That's Tlusty with the puck. Tried to slip it through. Daly out there with Goligoski, but the puck played with a high stick in the Dallas zone.
Well, Lindy Ruff's skate this morning was more like a practice than a prep. The last practice was Wednesday when we were in Los Angeles. Crazy the way the schedule has been lately. Coaches hate that. They like to have some time, especially with some new players moving in, some players moving out of the lineup. No Ryan Garbutt here tonight.
Brett Belmore, Rob Hainsey on the Carolina back end after the change. It's like for Dallas, Jason Spezza, Ales Hemsky, and Eric Cole. Alexander Semin getting back into the lineup for Carolina. He doesn't have a goal this season. He missed the last couple of games with an upper body injury. He wears number 28. He's slick and crafty, but he hasn't done much of that at all this season. He's challenged by Brendan Dillon. Dillon gets it ahead. Hemsky trying to escape. Hainsey held the line. Little Nathan Gerby back of the net. Klingberg takes away the puck, trying to protect it along the boards. Belmore crushes Cole from behind as the puck was just arriving. Cole came back with the shoulder, and that's Klingberg. On the wing. Here come the Stars. Hemsky from the line, and Dallas is offside there.
Well, Billy Peters, for 3 years, worked under Mike Babcock in Detroit as an assistant coach. He had the same job that Lindy Ruff had with Babcock for Canada at the Olympics. He ran the beat and their penalty killing. He's looking for a more buckled-down defensive approach on this road trip that they're embarking upon. 1 goal or been shut out in each of their last 3 games, so yeah.
They've lost 3 in a row. They went 5-0-1 in the previous 6 after starting the season 0-6-2. So it's been a roller coaster ride here for Peters and the Canes. Tim Gleason eagerly ahead of the Dallas line. Perry is belted by Oleksiak in the corner. Skinner setting up back of the net. Perry challenged again by Oleksiak. Skinner goes on top with the puck. The shot came in, and a save there on John Michael Lyles from Kari Lettinen with the pass. Roussel got it ahead. Sevier back in the lineup. He's up there with Fiddler and Roussel. Oleksiak spun off the hit, threw it toward the net. Ward stick to the side, centering. Finally, the Stars captain is back on the board.
What a pass. Oleksiak jumps up on the rush. Both these teams would like to have a defenseman join the attack. He just pumps it toward. Look at that pass. I mean, John Michael Lyles gets clowned on the post, doesn't get his skate sideways, doesn't have his stick to defend that. But it is a brilliant little backhand pass by Vern Fiddler and a drop-in for Jamie Benn. Wow, what a start.
Benn 6th, and Fiddler picks up an assist in his 3rd straight game. This one off a skate, it came bouncing right back in on Cam Ward.
Well, that has to feel like the gorilla is completely off his back. You know, he was not only not scoring, but you could see it start to bother other areas of his game, too. He's a carrying guy. He's the captain of this team. Get that over with here in the opening 2 minutes of this one and then go about your business. Good job.
41 shots between goals in 11 games, but he's on the board. Andre Sekera up ahead to center ice. Tlusty will shoot it in. So Fiddler and Oleksiak with the assists on the Benn goal. And the Stars are off to a good start here. There's Benn trying to move it up against Tlusty. Staal was spilled. Goligoski hunts it down back of his net. Away from the pressure, but he took a good hit from Eric Staal. Tlusty fighting the puck inside his own line. Seguin back there looking around.
Prior to that goal, the Stars looked a tad bit nervy in their own zone, which is understandable. Issues on home ice, got blown out by the Hawks in their last game.
Semin to Gerby. Blocked by Klingberg. Semin chases it in the corner. Up to the line for Hainsey. Lettman catches it before Gerby can do any business.
Well, one thing the Canes have done here in the early going is get on their toes and come after the Stars with their forecheck, and it's caused at least the territorial advantage for them, but they're chasing the game on the score. Like, if we can get Gerby next to Alexiak in the game, it'll be wonderful. Here tonight, Gerby's 5'5", Alexiak 6'7". He's as competitive as they come at 5'5", I'll tell you.
And a sturdy 178 pounds for the 5'5". Carolina wins the draw. Hainsey belts it. Stevie got a leg on it. Perry goes back out on top. Belmore from Hainsey. Shooting wide of the net. The end boards wrap around Terry. Had Skinner cruising through. Hainsey blasting it wide. Belmore holding it in again at the line. More territorial advantage here for Carolina. Perry jumps back to the net. Skinner, Victor Rask pivots out of the corner. Leaves it there for Hainsey. Crawling in. Shot it. Save Lettman. And Fiddler wants to go. The end of a shift. He'll take the line by himself. Flip past Rask. Run into Hainsey. But still fight to get the puck deep. And changes for the Stars. Spezza, Hemsky, and Cole out there for Lindy Ruff. Patrick Dwyer pursued and then bumped off the puck hard at the Dallas line. It's an offside call against Carolina.
Well, the former Hurricane Eric Cole came back. Tracking was an issue the other game too, and he comes back hard, beats his man positionally, and knocks him off of it, forces his face off in neutral ice. Good hard hockey right there. You know, even when the Stars have been in their own zone, and they've been in it a lot here in the first 4 minutes, it looks like everyone's just taking care of their own job instead of trying to do somebody else's. It works better that way.
Sometimes you try and do a little too much, especially when things aren't going so good.
They haven't shown a ton of poise when they've had the puck, though.
There's Jordy Benn slipping it off John Michael Lyles and right at Jamie Benn on the Dallas bench.
Well, let's see if they can get some others off the schneid, if you will, offensively. I think Ales Hemsky would be the poster boy of that list. He's had some opportunities, no question about it. His last couple of games have been pretty good. He's had more opportunities and looked more like the guy that played in Edmonton and Ottawa prior to being signed by the Dallas Stars.
Stahl wins the faceoff from Cody Eakin at center ice, and Gleason fires it in. They change their blue line. Jamie Benn with a little bit of room. Try to pass to Lusty, blocks. Benn gets it out to center ice. Stahl pumps it over to Lusty on the take. Lindholm driving to support over in the corner. Eakin cramming him along the boards. Two-a-side battle. Puck's under Lindholm. Eakin kicks at it. Lusty gets his stick in there too. And Sekera was in. The shot went wide. Justin Falk pumped it. Also off target. Sagan trying to hit Benn streaking at center. Sekera cut it off. Lindholm right back across. Slams on the brakes for Stahl. His shot blocked by Goligoski. Went wide. Lettman trips. And McKenzie there to keep Gerby away. McKenzie scored his first NHL goal in the loss in Chicago on Sunday, but he's fighting the puck and the pesky Gerby right here. Eric Stahl fires it on in. Brother Jordan out with a broken leg. He suffered that in preseason. Be back till after the first of the year, and the Stars have iced the puck here.
Well, one thing that gets in the way of the Stars' overall game at times is turnovers, and they're coming out of their own zone. They turn it over and change, and as they change, the Canes come back the other way. It was an awkward play for Corey Lettman, who got bumped on his way through. Stahl swinging around, kicked his feet out from underneath him, and the Stars were very fortunate there wasn't somebody waiting for that pass from behind the icing line.
Riley Nash wins the face-off. Semin put it out to center ice. John Michael Lyles. Gleason ahead to Semin. He skips it in. And Alexiak takes the hit from Gerby. Semin pumped the puck back toward the net. It finds the glass and the safety netting. Best corporate holiday parties by far are held at a Dallas Stars game. Save big on tickets, plus add-on private meeting space and great food and beverage options. Make this year's holiday party one your coworkers will be bragging about and will actually want to attend. Call 214-GO-STARS or visit DallasStars.com.
here, and I think been pretty spot on with their forecheck. They have pressured Dallas in the Stars end of things. There's been no time to hang on to the puck and make a play. And whenever they've gone up the boards, which they've done repeatedly, there's been multiple guys in white jerseys waiting for them, and so it just feels like Dallas hasn't had the puck.
They do now, courtesy of Antoine Roussel's faceoff win. Dillon moves it forward. Stars lost it, but backing it up. Here comes Klingberg through center. Hangs onto the puck and takes the line. My goodness.
Got away with that one.
Bellemare shoots the puck out. Klingberg racing back after it. He'll peel off and Lettman hits Dillon. Swings it around for Klingberg. Those two played preseason last year together, Klingberg and Dillon. Also, they were partners at development camp. And here comes Klingberg into the zone, but Fiddler proceeds to play, and it's offside. One shot for the Dallas Stars, and it came from the right guy who made the most of it. Jamie Benn is on the sheet again, and the Stars have a 1-0 lead.
6 goals, a tidy little +8 in the last 8 games, and this one's only a few minutes into it here against the Canes for Jamie Benn in his career. A couple of shorties, one last year was a dazzler, and the marsupial, or primate, was ripped off his back by his buddy Tyler Seguin after scoring his first goal in a dozen games. A true teammate there.
Jamie Benn helps win the faceoff. Daly up ahead toward Alex Goligoski. Dwyer jumps it. Lost the puck at the Dallas line. Gave McClement angling it after it. Dwyer spinning around to Bellemare at the line. Deep to McClement, who's tied up. Back Boychuk popped it back out to Bellemare for Hainsey at the left point. Shot it, tipped. Didn't get through, and then McClement whipped it wide. Cody Eakin slides it ahead. Benn trying to get past Bellemare. Can't do it. Dwyer holding the zone.
They're way quicker than the Stars right now. Way quicker.
McClement in the corner. Eakin seals him up. Dwyer back to Boychuk on top for Bellemare. Shooting it. Lettman forced to make a save. Kara cut underneath Tyler Seguin. Daly's there to back him up and throw it out to center ice. And Bellemare securing it away from Benn and Seguin, who now go to finish the change. And in come the Canes. Andre Sekera, 8-year-old Czech defenseman, wound up deep in the zone. Elias Lindholm threw it back of the net, and Oleksiak made his presence known physically here already. Swung up the wall, Paul unable to find it. Justin Falk, who leads their back end in scoring and is second only to Riley Nash in team points, shot it in. Jordy Benn, and Hemsky is flying. He picks it up. He's in against Gleason. Hemsky can't get the shot away. Now he centers it. Backhand Spezza. It got through, and Ward didn't see it. Carolina hoisting it to center ice. Jordy Benn, quick up to Cole, but he was covered. Hemsky taking it away from Stahl, and then Gerby trying to give him a quick exit into the Dallas bench. Puck tapped off Gerby and out of play at center.
Well, they finally break through. It feels like the semi-haymakers from the Stars right now, as they're on their heels and in their zone and awful wide in the early going. This time, though, they get it winging up the ice. Boy, it was interesting to watch this break for the Stars as Hemsky lost it right at the net, trying to cut in front. When they were coming out of their own zone, Eric Stahl, the center iceman for the Canes, turned, looked at Jason Spezza, and took it all the way from the Stars zone into the Hurricanes end.
Responsibility. There's Klingberg up ahead. Horkoff also had a goal in the game in Chicago. McKenzie is in the corner away from Gleason. Travis Moen playing in his second game as a Dallas Star. McKenzie pivoting, shooting. Gleason sends it to rest.
Well, the kid got his first in the apple in Chicago. Was really the only true bright spot for the Stars in the loss to the Chicago Blackhawks. Nice play all around. Beautiful feed by Eric Cole. Top, throw it at the net. Kid goes in there. Spencer, the other guy in the line, grabs the puck. He didn't even get to be the first guy in the fist bump line down the boards. Tom Holy, the Stars PR man extraordinaire, has the puck on his desk in his office. He's not going to keep it for life or anything. He will give it back, but they nowadays put it on a plaque for players when they score their first in the NHL. They used to just basically wrap white tape around it, write on it, first National Hockey League goal and the date, and then it would end up in the bottom of a bag somewhere.
This is better. Sevier after Fiddler goes forward. Vern Fiddler spinning. Roussel back of the net. Leaving it for Sevier. Kept it away from Hainsey to Fiddler. Roussel occupied 2 men. Fiddler trying to cut to the slot. Poke checked away. Victor Rask down the boards into the Dallas zone. Gillen across the Clifford. Kept it away from Skinner. Fiddler up the wall and out it goes. Hainsey to Bellemare. And returning it again to Rob Hainsey. 9 minutes into the first period. Was credited with just the one shot. Skinner trying to manufacture something here in the Dallas zone, but he was alone as others change. Dillon with the pass to Roussel. Here. Two Hurricanes collide. Skinner was one of them, and he's getting his way to the Carolina bench. Patrick Dwyer straight ahead, angling right. Got past Eakin and Seguin. Punching it in deep for Boychuk. Daly's there. Passing forward, here come the Stars. Eakin, Seguin, and Ben. Eakin slides it down the boards. Goes after Paul. Pitching it to Ben. Shooting it around for Goligoski. Back of the net for Eakin, too hot. Daly on his backhand. Left it along the boards for Ben. Ben snapped it into Seguin. Seguin can't pull the trigger. Ben holding it to another drop pass. Goligoski backhanding it. Relayed by Eakin, but he couldn't get it at the net. And the net goes off Goligoski. He has to hurry to keep the rush away, and he does, keeping Boychuk at bay.
See, that's an example of why it's beneficial to have righties and lefties. Goligoski, a left-handed shot player on that board side, can't get his blade over there and keep the rotation going. They look dangerous there.
Jordy Ben in his own zone whips the puck around. Cole tried to tip it past Gleason. He can't. Gleason passes over to Lusty, and it's tipped by Stahl over the top of the net.
They must have about 10 or 11 attempts toward Dallas's net. They're just not hitting it that often.
Hamsky to Spezza. Spezza shooting, save Ward, rebound up the slot. Jordy Ben getting there ahead of Lindholm. With Stahl in pursuit, he knocks it in deep for Hemsky. Now Stahl and Jordy Ben grapple for the puck. Yuri Talusti comes up with it for Carolina. Out the center they come and across the Dallas line. Lindholm too far for Stahl, who's breaking to the net.
Spezza was behind him.
And Carolina, the Stars both making changes. Nash to Semin, shooting it wide of the net.
He can rip it.
Moen for McKenzie. To turn the corner on Sakara. Backhander safe. Punch to Dillon. Into the glove. And Cam Ward stops play. It is becoming a team ritual. Last season in Winnipeg, Jamie Benn scores. And the monkey comes off. Tonight, Jamie Benn scores. And Tyler Seguin pulls it out for him. 1-0 Stars.
Well, there's no question there's a little bit of fragility in the Stars game here on home ice for good reason. They only have the one victory in their first 9 games. And the Canes know that. They've come after them here in the opening period. Right from a face-off win by the Stars in neutral ice. One bad pass, they jump the route, turn the puck over, and then once it goes deep, they get on their forecheck. And this is what the Stars have been seeing. 1, 2, 3 guys pestering immediately. No time, no space. They're hurried. They turn the puck over again and bump it back out, throw a puck toward the net. It's been pretty impressive how the Hurricanes have gotten after the Stars here in the early going. I think Dallas, for the most part, has handled it fairly well. But, man, have they spent a lot of time in behind their own blue line here in the first 12 minutes.
Now they're in the other zone. Face up to Cam Ward's right. Ortop and Riley Nash. Carolina comes up with the puck. Falk forwards it ahead. Gerby speeding across. Pick him up. Gerby slaps it around behind. Nash lets it go. Semin tried to hit a breaking Gerby. Dillon had him all the way to the net. Sakara shot off the mark. Bounced away from Klingberg to McKenzie. Right up the middle. Another turnover, but he fought to get it back himself. And now Moen gave it to him at the line before Nash came and took it away.
Well, give the Stars some credit in their own zone, too. I think a lot of these missed shots are because a lot of players are holding ice in shot lanes.
Icing against Carolina.
Stars get an opportunity with another back-to-back, if you will, offensive zone face-offs. Well, they got some good happening for them immediately with the goal by Jamie Benn in the first 2 minutes, but it really doesn't feel like the Stars are ahead the way this game has unfolded here. A couple of good shifts here lately. There have been some gigantic rebounds off of Cam Ward if they can get to a second.
Eakin wins the face-off. Goligoski moved it forward. Bounces away from Eakin. Trying to fight to get it back. Goligoski lost leverage. Skinner pursuing. Trevor Daley will go back to pick it up for the Stars. Ben's pass skips through to center. Goligoski taps it forward. Eakin trying to cut through on Belmore. Hainsey popped it out to center. Eakin arguing with a couple of Canes players for the puck. Perry charges ahead. Shot it. Kari Lettman makes the save.
Just like a ping pong, bing bang, boom bong game here in the first period. Not a ton of flow, and the puck seems to be bouncing all over the place. Curry, when you look at what he's done, I mean, obviously he was a big reason why they won those 2 games on the road. But it has just been up and down, and he has been as inconsistent here on home ice as the guys in front of him.
Looks at Hainsey firing. It's blocked in front. And then he stone stall on the rebound bid. Stahl hands it off to Lucy. Shot contested by Jamie Alexiak.
Big Eric Stahl, he's pushed for a while to play with this talented young right winger, Elias Lindholm, and they've been, like their other lines, they've been in the Star zone here a lot in the first period. Face-off win initially. He runs to the front of the net. Stars allow that. And Kari Lettman has to handle both the big center iceman and the puck.
Lindholm had almost nothing in October, but he's been Mr. November. Scoring big goals for the Canes. Hainsey from center shooting it in over a ducking Eric Stahl. John Klingberg, 22-year-old Swede, knocked it ahead. Roussel helps get it past Belmore, and there goes Roussel. Swinging wide, in front to Sevier, and Stahl took him all the way to the net. Dillon will track it down. Drawing Taluski in, finds Klingberg. Short feet ahead to Fiddler. Across the ice, just out of Sevier's reach. Dallas reorganizing again. Long pass from Dillon to Roussel. And the Stars will look for a change. Ward handing it off. Lindholm from his own line. Punched it ahead. Boychuk unable to go further. Fiddler sending Jordy Ben back to find the puck. Pass ahead to Cole at center ice. Snapped it over to Alexiak. Comes to the stripe and fires it in. A bouncing puck that Ward cuts off. Played it to the corner, and then it's dealt back around for Gleason. Jordy Ben moving in. Cole is dumped in front of the net as the puck comes out to center, and Hemsky will not let Boychuk by. Alexiak to Cole. Tanked off Gleason. Cole will try it again. Straight ahead from the line. Shooting it in. Going after Gleason, and puck played with a Carolina high stick. That's the whistle. Enter for your chance to win 4 tickets to see the Stars, plus an opportunity to play an on-ice intermission game that just might get you a brand new Kia. For official rules, how to enter, visit DallasStars.com today.
Some transaction news today. Kevin Connaughton had to go through waivers to get to Cedar Park and didn't make it. The Columbus Blue Jackets picked him up today, so we're going to see lots of the kids apparently. Not that he's not one of them.
Right.
Good guy.
Yep.
Wish him the best.
You bet. Here's Tyler Seguin. Cody Eakin falls on his back. Bang digging in after the puck. And they slip it past Daley. Seguin backing him up at the Dallas line. Passing it neatly to Daley. Leaving it for Goligoski. Weaving his way from Gerby. Into the zone, gave it to Ben. Sliding it off to Seguin, shooting, and that's blocked in front.
Way to hit Goligoski, the defenseman who cruised right to the front of the net. They had a dangerous look there.
Jamie Ben's on the puck, quick up to Goligoski at the line. Seguin and Eakin go to the front of the net, so does Ben, and Goligoski's shot blocked by Falk. It lands in about the same spot.
I think the Stars the last couple of times up the ice, outside of the Seguin chance, have opportunities to throw it at the net with players going there and haven't done it.
Terry mishandles the puck at the line, and that's offside against Carolina, who find themselves trailing in Dallas to the Stars, who are in desperate need of a win.
Stars up 1-0 on a Jamie Benn goal with 5 and change to go in the opening period. The Stars have only registered 3 shots on goal, and they've had opportunities, I think, to funnel it a little bit more. Antoine Roussel, if it's the other way around, you know Antoine's going to the front of the net. This time he has it breaking down the wing. He has Sevier breaking to the net. Ward has given up a couple of rebounds here in the opening frame, but he elects to try to get it through him to him through the bodies, and it doesn't click.
Moen very combative there with Taluski. Came to Moen, hit by Stahl in front of the Dallas bench. Canes put it back in. Lemon sets it up for Klingberg. Dillon, McKenzie. Will work it up the boards. Belmar kicks at it. Horcock puts his stick in. It's under there someplace. Comes loose to Stahl. Passes over to Hainsey. Moving in deeper. Hainsey shot it. And with Talusti in front, they're unable to make the play. Good chip out by Horcock.
So that was a nice, patient little pass by Eric Stahl.
And then he got back to cover up.
And there's a penalty on that play.
Delayed call against the Stars. Ward goes to the bench. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Extra attacker is on for Carolina because of the delay. Whistle doesn't blow until Dallas gets possession of the puck. Sometimes extremely arbitrary. Rask. The Stars line. At Bobbin. Fiddler is cranked over there. And then Dillon takes exception to the hit.
Might have evened this thing up here along the boards. They were going on the power play, and as Fiddler and a couple compadres went after that puck. Rask stick, yeah, got up and raked Fiddler's face. He didn't see him coming from behind and popped the top on him. Stars were going to be shorthanded, and instead, looks like it's even up. The penalty at the other end. Stahl went back for it. McKenzie was draped all over him, and that was going to be your infraction. Or is your infraction. It's going to be your power play, which isn't going to be. So their rookie center iceman sits in the box with the Stars rookie left winger.
So a little chance to work on their 4-on-4 here, which has not been good, especially in the building. Eakin and Ben, Daly and Goligoski for the Stars. Riley Nash, Cody Eakin tie up Daly, emerging with the puck. Falk and Sekera back to defend. Daly pitching it down the wing. Ben hops past Sekera, goes after Falk and the puck back of the net. Sekera pivoting it away from Cody Eakin. Riley Nash goes across the ice, and there's Justin Falk taking the Dallas line, dropping to Nash. Derby tied up in front of the net. Ben goes down on top of Nash, back of the net. Daly's pass got through, and Ben kicks it forward. Ben and Eakin 2-on-2 at the line. Ben shuffles it forward to Eakin. Eakin back to Ben. Cleaned up by Falk, but right to Daly. Firing it, bouncing. Eakin a shot. Save Ward. And he's down with the puck.
Well, a couple of good plays by young Falk, the defenseman, and then he gets bailed out by his netliner on the mess after that as Eakin and Ben were pursuing. I think the Canes thought that was offside at the blue line. He just passed his problem along once he broke it up. Falk in front of the net threw a backhand at nobody in particular. Good look from our cutout down low at the scrambling world of Cam Ward. Good goal line stand there.
Stars win the draw. Klingberg a shot. He scores! John Klingberg's first in the NHL, and the Stars lead 2-0.
Well, they got the 4-on-4 figured out. That's their first, isn't it?
Yep.
So off the face-off, the Canes again win it and give it away. The battle between Seguin and Miles off to the side. Miles may have connected with his netminder. Oh, goes off to, it's not going to be his, should be Seguin's goal. Off his skate.
So we'll hold the celebration and keep the puck on ice.
Tom's not going to have 2 pucks on his desk, I don't believe.
Not yet. Seguin was fouled up. His puck was in his feet at the line offside.
Well, in fairness to John Michael Lyles, I don't know how you defend that. Boy, he scored some just gritty goals. Had one off his chest in here before. This one goes off his, watch the toe of his skate right there. Up, ding. Off and in. Nothing Cam Ward could do as he was challenged to a shot from the blue line. Seguin's like, it's a goal. I don't care whether it's me or him. He must have felt that, though.
Tyler Seguin's team leading 13th. Klingberg gets the assist. That's assists in each of his last 2 games. And now he whips it ahead to Ben. Hot pass. Ben finds it. He shoots it. Save Ward. Spezza also with a helper. The points keep coming for Jason Spezza, too. Dallas' assist leader. He adds another. It is his 14th assist and 17th point. Stay on the 4-on-4. Yes, they were outscored 4-0 on 4-on-4 hockey this season. Ales Hemsky invading the zone. Moving away from Shakira, who overtakes the puck. With the reach for it, couldn't get it. Stahl going through the net. Slammed on the brakes in time to not collide with Kari Lettinen. Shakira pivoting away. The minors have expired. Mackenzie joins in the Dallas end. Shot came in, tipped over the top.
Ooh, not by much. There's a mess of sticks on that.
Skinner heaving it out. Shakira, nobody in front. Shot it, blocked by Hemsky out of the zone.
It's a silly shot there.
Carolina back on side, broken up, and Mackenzie darting after it. So a 2-0 lead for the Stars. How many shots on net in the first period? 6-5, Dallas now with the edge. Shakira rifling it up at center. Alexiak kept Wojciech away. Jardy been off to Horcoff. Tempted to go down the wing, and now he does get it through with some help toward Roussel. Ward back in the net. Sevier over along the far boards. It comes past him. Wojciech carrying it to center ice. Chipped it past Jordy, man. But they missed play it at the line. McClement did.
Late period bouncing puck on chewed up ice. Falls in the Stars' favor.
And another offside here against Carolina.
Well, Tyler Seguin had been stalled lately with just 1 assist in his last 3 games. However, the goal here in the opening period, he leads the National Hockey League in that category. He's top 3 in points. Another goal at even strength. That leads the league. 10 of his 13 have been at even strength. Not on the power play where he's dynamic as well. You forget some of this stuff, you know, that's happened within the muck.
There's a lot of roses in this thorn bush.
It's like, hey, hold it. Let's wallow in the good stuff.
Yeah. Klingberg aside his net, up ahead to Hemsky, protecting the puck and then going cross ice to Cole. That thread one through to Spezza. Dallas is offside here with 41 seconds left in the first.
An odd first period. The Hurricanes have played well as far as attacking. They've thrown a lot of pucks toward the Stars' net. Not on it that much and haven't had that many good scoring chances. And the Stars have had a couple of good chances at the other end, and their top 2 guys, Ben and Seguin, have gone bang, bang. They can play better than this. They just have to build some confidence. And if you're the Hurricanes, who are struggling to score goals right now, man, you look up 2-0 after 1. Yikes.
Seguin trying to intercept the puck at center ice. Riley Nash struggled but got it over. Goligoski getting a little bit of help from Daly. Pitch it into Carolina ice. Justin Falk. Riley Nash left the puck. Eakin shot it in. Seguin unable to grab it.
Close. Dance a little bit. Last time the Stars and the Canes hooked up, Tim Peel gave Tyler Seguin a game misconduct. Remember?
Yeah.
Cost him the Lady Bang, maybe. That odd game in Carolina. They lose 4-1 or something. A couple power play goals against.
Puck bouncing around and again back out to center. Daly bouncing it back in.
Ping pong again. It's just, man, it's been quite a first period.
Falk struggling with it. Fiddler throws a hit on Dwyer as the horn sounds, ending the first period. Still a little juice left down there.
Well, yeah, don't do anything stupid, but at the same time, don't just depart. Make sure you let the other side know that it's going to be a little more difficult than just that. So 2-0, Ben's off the schneid. Seguin has scored. Other than the optics of the first period, excellent.
We'll take it as the Dallas Stars begin a 5-game homestand tonight. 4 of the 5 teams that come in here are currently outside the top 8 in their respective conferences. So the Stars maybe get a little bit of a break here. And they're up 2-0 to start the homestand over the Carolina Hurricanes at American Airlines Center in McKee.
Dallas Stars hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Ford has the best offers on the best-selling trucks in Texas. Ford is the best Austin, Texas. And by Mazda. The Mazda 6 is named the car and driver 10 best for 2014. What do you drive? American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. The Stars lead the Hurricanes 2-0 as we head to the second, and we go back 24 hours in Toronto last night. Razor, an astonishingly bright Hall of Fame class featuring Dallas's own Mike Modano.
Yes, Modano, Blake, Hasek, and Peter Forsberg all going in. I thought Mike gave a great speech. He's such an emotional guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeves. He did as a player. He's certainly done it again in retirement. Seems like there's a ceremony for him bi-monthly. Brett Hall there to give him his plaque. And of course, last year, number 9 was raised to the rafters here at American Airlines Center. There'll be a salute to him on Saturday.
Jamie Benn said the most interesting thing from that speech was the line about going from being the hunted to being the hunter.
And that sort of resonated with him a little bit. Well, he hunted one and got one early here tonight. An icing call early against the Ben Stars here to start the second.
Well, Jamie and Tyler Seguin have both scored in the game here tonight. That's a good sign for the Stars. They're 3-0 when those two have scored in the same match this season. There's a lot of Mike Modano and Tyler Seguin's game. We saw that from day number 1 coming over from the Boston Bruins.
Cody Eakin in there with Lindholm. Lindholm won it. Falk shot it. Punched aside by Kari Lehtinen, and Ben whipped it in. That's Sekera. Goes after Falk. Ended around the boards. Drop pass from Stahl. Here comes Lindholm to center ice. Yuri Tlusny trying to jockey and then shoves Daly back of the net. Alex Goligoski in there to swing it up the near side boards. And Hainsey got to the puck before Seguin did. Fires it right back across.
See if the Stars can spend a little more time in the Kane zone here in the second period. They're up 2-0. That's the lovely part, but territorial advantage was all Canes in the first period.
Colton Sevier tapping it back. John Klingberg passed it forward. Fiddler to Sevier at center ice. And he'll tuck it down the boards. Brett Belmore firing it around. Simmons unable to control the puck. Belmore spinning, and icing is coming against Carolina as long as... Well, he didn't get there. Gerby's pass across the ice to Semin. Dillon in there physically. Centering pass from Gerby. Finds Vern Fiddler. Taps it out to center ice. Gleason up ahead. Gerby tipping it in. Klingberg bucked him off the puck.
How about the wheels on Nathan Gerby to play out that icing? Turning and burning.
Klingberg's pass gets through. At the line, that's Cole bringing it into Spezza. Spezza curling up on Rask. Rask reaching in. He hands to Hemsky. Hemsky taking it on top. Alexiak's in front of the net, and he can't get the shot away. Lyles was covering him.
I think Jamie Alexiak's been really good in the game here tonight. Maybe the strongest Stars defenseman in that first period.
Rask belted by Eric Cole. Alexiak holding it in. Passing it off. Spezza to Hemsky. Hemsky shot it. Save Ward. Rebound back of the net. They all keep waiting for it. Chris Terry cutting inside on Alexiak. Fought back with the stick and got help from Spezza. He's jammed up in the corner. Spezza to Hemsky. Pivots away and hits Jordy Benn at the line. Shooting it wide of the net, just wide. Skinner takes the pass into the Dallas zone. Shot, score! Skinner from the angle. And Carolina's on the board. It's 2-1.
Well, how do you want to parse this whole segment? You know, really, the Stars have 2 golden opportunities at the other end. Alexiak, the big defenseman right in front of the net. They don't expect him there. A shocker. And then Hemsky, all he has to do is lift this in a corner. He hits Cam Ward in the tummy or clavicle. And then Jordy Benn misses the net as he walks in as a defenseman and allows this. Little 10-2 from Skinner. He's got a tremendous shot, but Kari Lehtinen looked like he was guarding the near side post. And that fluttering puck should not go in from that angle. It beat him glove side, maybe knuckled a little bit. An unexpected goal to cut this lead in half.
Skinner's first point in 4 games is his 4th goal of the season. He missed the first 4 games of the year, in fact, suffering a concussion in the preseason. Seguin on to Daly, dragging it across. Trevor stops. Gave it to Ben. Ben shot it. Save Ward. Rebound. Goligoski missed the net. Boychuk ahead to center ice. It drips in over the line. Jamie Benn gets there ahead of all others. Passing out to Goligoski. Attacking against Hainsey. Eakin drags the skate. Could not stay on side.
That whole segment was just very Dallas Stars 2014 ice that just unfolded on the goal. And then the Stars come roaring out of it. The top line out here again. Daly, I don't know how he was on side, but I guess he was on that one as he drug it in. And Jamie Benn has already got a goal in the game. Tried to beat the shoulder of Cam Ward. He wanted that puck all the way in, too. Gets it. Turns against the great good stop.
Back to play Talusti going after a puck at center. It got past him. Lettinen fired it around the board. Stahl puts it back in the net. Klingberg getting in there. Talusti thought he had the puck, and then Klingberg fought back with the stick. Dylan shot it up. It banks on the gate, and again back behind the Dallas net. Dylan to Travis Moen. Unable to work it up past Lindholm. And there's Klingberg again. Gently around. Lyles jumps in deep. Stahl back of the net. Held off, and here comes Moen. Head up to center. Gave it to Horcoff. Moen acquired last week in the deal that sent Sergei Gonchar to Montreal. Hainsey up ahead. Talusti and Stahl attack at the Dallas line. They want the change. 4 minutes elapsed in the second period. 2-1 Dallas. Travis Moen shooting it in. Winds around the boards. That's Vern Fiddler. Shot it off Ward. Surprised it.
Well, he surprised everyone. Fiddler came on a change in the Stars bench.
Kirby snuck it away from Alexiak, but icing this time against Carolina.
There it was. Alexiak and Gervey came together. Talls and smalls. Oh, Gervey could just about go between his legs and start through there. Here it comes on the right-hand side. Gervey, it's just a shadow around him.
6-7, high five. Here's Fiddler. Looking in against Riley Nash. Jordy Ben shot it. Ricochets out to the line. Alexiak tried to glove it and go. He lost the puck. And then fighting back with Sevier. Roussel tripped up. Haynes come in. Nash plays it over to Kirby. Spun and fired. And that pops off a skate all the way back into Carolina ice. Andre Sekera. Sevier in for a look. Justin Falk. Rink wide. Skinner, who just scored, chips it in. Ben, who scored earlier. And it go off a stick. Goligoski clears. Seguin knocked it down. Kraft got it in. Shot from Skinner to save Lettinen. Perry firing. Glanced wide. Falk chucks it in deep. Rask back in the net. Daly trying to handle him. Moved around to Skinner. Takes a step on Ben. Shot it. Blocked by Cody Eakin. Sekera spins off the boards, twisting it back on top for Falk. A shot, and that one off. The body's in front. Skinner just missed it. Pass towards Seguin at the line. Intercepted. Sekera got it in. Shot from Talusti into the glove. And Kari Lettinen comes back with a big save there.
2 in a row, really. A good save prior to that, too. This one stared right into the mid. Stars just don't look like they can skate away from the Canes, especially in their own zone right now. The change, he gets in between the 2 defenders and tests that high glove. This time, Kari Lettinen well out of his crease, challenging that shot, cracking right into the glove. I'm sure he'd like to have another stab at the Skinner puck that beat him, though.
Hemsky tying up Hainsey. Klingberg and Stahl and Hainsey are in there. Stahl came away with the puck. Looking to center it. Does. Shot from Lindholm. Swallowed by Kari Lettinen. 13:54 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Dallas. There's 2 Canes, 1 in the second. Stars Fox Sports Southwest wants to put you in the zone for select Stars home games this season. Fans can purchase tickets in the Fox Sports Southwest Fan Zone. Get yours today at DallasStars.com/fanzone and use the password Fox Sports. Tickets are limited and subject to availability. $10 to see a hockey game. It's pretty good.
And we get it for free, Ralph.
Yes, we do. That's even better. There's John Klingberg. Belusky's watching him. He got it out and off a skate. Now there's a race for the puck. Fiddler going in strong with Fillmore. Roussel on the outskirts. Sevier lingering in front of the net. Roussel put his shoulder into Belmore in the corner. Lindholm has him wrapped up. Cranked out off Klingberg's stick. Klingberg passes ahead. Intercepted by Lindholm. Sevier tying him up. Klingberg has it once more. They don't give him center ice.
No, the Canes have been pretty good at protecting that area for the most part, and obviously they've been on their toes on their forecheck and have given the Stars some fits. That man's pretty happy with the way his team has played for the most part here on the road, Bill Peters. Got a little bit of offense here in the second period. Haven't been able to win on the road. Most of the road games were early on, though, when they weren't playing well.
We're out on an extended trip starting tonight. They go to LA, Colorado, Florida, and Pittsburgh. How about that?
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No. Oh, bursting through is Dwyer. He scores on the backhand. Out of a knot at center ice. Patrick Dwyer came speeding in. That's his first point of the season, and the game is tied.
Well, one thing he has in spades is speed. The Stars got their line change in and were in good position. Alexiak got tied up with Jordy Benn right at the blue line, and they hit the gas through neutral ice. It's another ping-pongy play. There's been a ton of that in the game here tonight. This time, Kari Lehtinen couldn't handle a pretty deft little backhand by Dwyer. Settle down a rolling puck and get it up and over top of him. After two good saves by Kari, the Canes have come back to tie this game at 2 here in the second period. Yikes.
Salmon tripped up. Penalty coming up against the Stars. Jordy Benn.
This could go from bad to awful here in a hurry. It's been a mucky middle frame for the bearded Ben. Semin went down easily as Ben tried to crowd in on him. Comes down the boards. Had a stick on his ankle and down he went. We thought the Canes were going to go on the power play back in the first period. They never did. Took a penalty on the same delayed minor. This time they are going on it.
Decent power play this year for Carolina. They're 13th, and it's been a steady drip. Goal in 6 of their last 9 games. Stars' kill has been better lately. Shot from Falk saved Kari Lehtinen. No rebound for Lindholm.
Well, one of the big keys, this actually changed late last season under Kirk Muller when we were in there. They, instead of going with the Stahl brothers on the power play, they went with the young guys. Lindholm, Nash, who are out here. They have Gerby out right now, along with Rask.
Falk straight behind. Face off to Lehtnin's right. Fiddler trying to tie it up. Nash turned his body to win it. Gets the return pass from Falk. Side of the net, Lindholm. Gerby's in the slot. It trickles over to Goligoski. He's hounded by Rask, but pivoted away and unfortunately got a bad bounce.
Stars unable to win their first 2 faceoffs on this penalty kill, and it's allowed the Canes to try to get going with their power play. Change some things up in that regard. Bring out 2 different forwards in Eakin and Jamie Benn. Cody Eakin still isn't a complete 100% healthy player. He's been dealing with the same injury. Deals with it well, I can tell you. He's a gutty guy.
Won that puck to the boards and then gets a little help to get it out. And there goes Benn trying to get away from Falk. Short-handed Jamie Benn, a shot, save, rebound, Deacon. Boxed out by Rask on his way toward the net. And Benn pumps Gerby. They pass to Daly for Goligoski with Eakin in front. Stars are short-handed. Goligoski opts to rag it back out to Trevor Daly. And he'll drive it back over. Good grab by Nash, and in he comes. Gerby in right behind him. Nash stops. Goligoski intercepts, but Gerby recaptures. Lyles walks the line, passes over. Gerby is in front, but the pass was blocked on its way to him. On top to Lyles. Shot, score! Rask from the far side. And the Canes have ripped off 3 straight in the middle period. They take a 3-2 lead.
It looks too easy, just too easy. And all of this is coming on the heels of some good stuff from the Stars' perspective. Great shift by Jamie Benn, shorthanded, almost scores on the first one. Then he blows up Gerby along the boards near the puck. Continues on. They come down. Elementary. One-timer from the dot. Whether this goes off something, this will tell us here, or just sails straight in. It paints the corner, but that's the shot you're going to give up on a penalty kill, and they don't get the stop on it. They got to stop the bleeding and cauterize here in a second.
21-year-old Swede found the net. Dillon finds Cam Ward's glove.
Crazy. It's like they're cursed. I don't know what it is right now. They're perplexed by this. Windy Ruff looking down. I mean, when the Stars were going well last season, they had critical execution in all facets of their game, from the goal line out, and they were able to spread teams out with speed. They had cohesion within their group. But what's happened this year is when something goes bad, 2 more bad things happen right after that. They got to get that out of their system.
3 goals in 7:56. Here's Klingberg. Not the pass to Lusty into the corner. Belmore slips free to Hemsky. Shot it off. Ward. Rebound. Spank wide. Cole beating Klingberg again. He took it outside the line. He knew it.
These home runs are, I mean, it's getting old for everyone. They weren't great in the first period, but they were up 2-0. It looked like they were starting to try to get their act together here in the second, and bang, bang, bang. Again, just too charitable defensively and not seizing games. And yeah, fans have seen too much of it.
You have Skinner from McClement, Dwyer from Lyles, and Rask from Lyles and Gerby on the power play. In under 8 minutes, McClement right back in, shooting it. Lettinen fought it off. McClement puts it back to the net. Terry handing it on. That's Skinner in front. Poke away at it, and it drifts in on Kari Lettinen.
Well, a few whistles here right now. I think they just like to get to the 10 mark and have a little break in here and chat things over a bit. It's been a struggle. No question it's been a struggle for Kari. The individual struggles have been there. And Jamie Benn just popped his way out of an 11-game goal slump. He just can't get any traction. It's crazy. Nobody saw this coming.
Fiddler wins the faceoff. Looking for the puck at center, but the Canes bring it right back in. Here's Skinner. Laying out to make the play was Trevor Daley. Perry back of the net. Centered into Falk, intercepted by Roussel. Towards Sevier at the line. Sekera got there first. In front of the Dallas bench. Pop back over. Stars have to tag up. They'll do it and change. Sekera has a man in the clear. Terry cutting, shooting, save. Lettinen and Skinner can't get to the rebound. Cody Eakin moving forward with a pass to Alexiak at the line. Dropped it toward Ben, but it was a tough pass to catch. Dwyer's over there. He hands it to Gleason. Snapped it up the center, but right to Alexiak. Eakin trying to settle it, gave it to Sagan. He'll brush it in on the backhand. 9:45 left in the second period. Sagan in there, stealing the puck, put it in front, nobody there.
They need more guys going like that right now. On their toes and after the Hurricanes.
Wojcik passing over to McClement. Pivots away from Dillon in the corner. And then fed it right to Spezza. Hands it off to Klingberg. He'd like to skate it out. Wojcik whacking at him. He comes to center. Tossing it in deep for Spezza. Spezza back of the net. Spezza took it away to Cole, and he shot it wide. 4 of them back there. 2 Stars, 2 Canes. Spezza comes away from the pile with the puck. Leaving it for Hemsky. Cole's in front. Hemsky wrapping around. Shot it through the crease. Spezza back to Klingberg. Pumping it deep for Hemsky back in the net. Walking out with it. Hemsky turning. Hemsky shooting just wide. Cole for Dillon. Back to Eric Cole. Chased out of the zone by Stahl. Hemsky takes the pass. Nudged it over to Cole. Got it back from Cole. And centered it to Spezza. It just got away from him. Dylan to Klingberg. Shooting it. That's blocked. It hit Gleason. And Dylan trying to get there ahead of Stahl. He does. Pull out and crank it ahead. Mullen can't go with it. Riley Nash will. Around behind the net. Stops and tries to go back the other way, but ran into Horkoff.
This pair on defense needs a change.
Semin shot it. That's blocked. McKenzie trying to get that deep pair off. Gave it to Dylan. Shoot it in. Ward holds it, and we'll go to commercial.
Dallas led 2-0 prior to the start of the second period. But 3 goals in under 8 minutes. Skinner, Dwyer, and Rask on the power play. And Carolina has a 3-2 lead in the second.
This has been another contest where it's not a complete effort. They're discombobulated a little bit. It's been frustrating for him and everyone involved, but this is the Jamie Benn that you usually see night after night. Got the monkey off his back with a goal early on, put the Stars up 1-0. Been all over the puck. He's used his shot in the game. Some good saves by Cam Ward. Throughout short-handed, wants it, tests him in tight there. He's been physically involved. He's skating extremely well here tonight. But they have to have more guys than just a few going against anybody in this league. Everybody's beatable. And this has been a shocking second period.
4 of Dallas's 13 shots have come from Jamie Benn. Fiddler wins the faceoff. Roussel firing. Pad stop. Ward kicked it out. Fiddler around for Roussel. Sevier. In again towards Fiddler. Fiddler spun away from Belmore. On to Alexiak. Shot it. Save Ward. Jordy-Ben keeping it in at the line. Deep but too far for Fiddler. Alexiak getting there ahead of Kirby. And out come the Canes. Riley Nash to Belmore. Defenseman chipped it deep, and Carolina will change. Jordy-Ben gallops ahead at center ice. Taking the Carolina line. Looking for an option. Drops it back to the net for Sevier. Sevier's in there with Rask. Rask fighting through it. Sekera comes up with it. Skinner wants the puck at the Dallas line. And now they get it in, but away from him. Sekera curling out. Shot from Skinner blocked by Ben, and it trickles in the rest of it.
All started with their transition game, and the Canes a lot in tonight's contest have played quick. You know what you want to do before you get the puck. Stars can't do anything with it down deep. Once the Canes win this puck in behind the icing line, boom, boom. 3 forwards are trapped, and away they go in their transition game for neutral ice. That's what the Stars do when they're playing really well. Instead, they've been doing a lot of defending in their own zone here throughout the game tonight. There's no question they got shocked by those quick goals against. They seem to have steadied a little bit here.
Loose puck in the Dallas zone. Belusti and Eakin arriving together. Eakin works it over to Ben, who goes up the middle with the puck. Pass to Sagan at center ice. Ben and Sagan have the Dallas goals. They're looking for more. Ben knocked it into the corner. Sekera using the glass. Daly spins. Kept it in, but right to Sekera, who finds the lane to clear. Daly shot it in. Ben was trapped. So now they'll go to the bench for the change. Shots 15 apiece. 6:25 remaining in the second period. 3-2 Canes. They come in offside.
Well, here's one thing that I always think is a key indicator, and especially with this Stars team. When you don't have the puck an awful lot, you usually don't get on the power play that much. And because teams just don't take penalties on you unless they're defending. And the Stars don't have a power play tonight. They didn't have a power play till the final few minutes in Chicago the other night. They're not getting on the job all that much here lately.
They have the puck here. Klingberg spot Spezza, but he's swarmed. Dwyer and Boychuk were all over him, forcing him back to the net. They'll unwind it to Klingberg. Looking up the ice, looking for an outlet. Tossing it gently out to Cole. Handed it back to Dylan. Brings it over. Hemsky shooting it. No problem for Cam Ward. 106 to play in the second period. Carolina owns the frame. It's 3-2 Canes.
Back in the 2002 draft, three goalies were chosen in the first round. Kari to Atlanta, went second overall. Cam Ward, 25th to the Canes. Hannu Toivonen was taken 29th by Boston. How about this? There's only been one goaltender taken in the first round of the last 4 NHL entry drafts. That was Malcolm Subban to the Bruins in 2012. They don't do that anymore.
Ooh, ball swung and missed. Any theory as to why they don't do that
I think
anymore?
it's a shift in the league. Goalies get developed later. They find them later. You don't have to, I'm not going to say waste an early pick.
Yeah, right.
But it seems like more teams and organizations are looking for skilled guys in a skilled game rather than going with a goaltender early on.
Klingberg was forced there, but he got it ahead. Eakin to Hemsky. Here comes Hemsky into the zone. Hemsky. Up pass, curled it into the corner. Wanted Ben, but it got away from him a little bit. Klingberg holding the line. Hemsky, 2 stars collide. It was Eakin and Ben. And that allows Carolina to clear the puck. Klingberg with a pass ahead. Ben is offside at the Carolina line.
Playing hard. They just look like they're not in sync with one another. Pretty obvious that last one with Hemsky coming in, who's been flying here in the second period, but he did 2 laps around the Canes his last shift and with the puck and tried to get it to the net. This last one tried to leave it for Jamie Benn and he missed him by a considerable margin.
I suspect there'll be a monkey off the back ceremony for Hemsky too.
Oh my God, that's King Kong if it happens. You have to go up to the top of the Empire State Building to get him.
Here's Trevor Daley, snuck it away from McClement to Alex Goligoski. Into Ben. Down the wall to Eakin. Back of the net, Falk. Rammed him. Daley back toward Eakin. Has a step on Falk, gets the stick clear. And it's cranked out by Lyles away from Goligoski. Sagan to Daley. Too hot. Icing against Dallas with 4:18 to play in the second. Dallas Stars Ice Girls calendar is back once again, and it's on sale now. Spend the entire year with the most beautiful ice girls in the NHL. The calendar makes a great gift for the holidays, too. Get your calendar at dallasstars.com/icegirls.
Well, up until this point, it had been an ugly second period for the Stars.
Right up until
That's
then.
at least a respite for a
Yes.
second.
I read it as slow as I could. Hainsey back of the net. Stahl tried to creep out. Shot it, tip, score! Talusti knocks it in on Kari Lehtinen. And it's 4-2 Carolina. How'd that go in?
Well, there's no question if Anders Lindback, and I think he's going to come in anyway. I was just thinking early on, if Anders hadn't struggled the way he has in his game so far this season, there would have been a goalie change earlier. It just can't go in. Talusti's in front. He has been a sniper for them on the road. Kari didn't have it sealed off on the short side. This will tell you exactly it. This camera was built for this goal. There you go. So Talusti scores his 7th goal on the road. The closest to him on their team is Nash with 3 on the road. So 4 goals in the second period. Lindy Ruff with some words for his crew on the bench, and with 4 and change to go in the second period, a 2-0 lead has evaporated into a 4-2 deficit, and first time Anders Lindback comes in relief.
3 previous appearances. He went the distance in all 3. He lost all 3. Last one at home here against San Jose. 2 road losses at Long Island and at Nashville. Alexiak. The Stars look to get one back here. Given a 4 in the middle frame. Fiddler looked over his shoulder and then tried to center it. He's dumped behind the net. Stars wanted to call. They don't get one.
Roussel and Gleason are going to go.
Right in front of the net, and Gleason tosses Roussel to the ice.
Boy, they squared off, stared at one another, and I think both threw haymakers that didn't land. This is Antoine just trying to change the record here in the middle frame. The two of them come together, nothing there. They go to the front of the net, and this is the genesis of a tilt. Stare at one another. Now watch this. This was... Yikes. So a little feisty scrap at the end of it. Gleason, who's an interesting story for them in that he's back with the Canes after being dealt to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and his partner now with the Hurricanes is the guy he got traded for, John Michael Lyles. Funny. I think that's irony, is it not?
It is.
What a horrific... The Stars have given up 4 goals in 2 of their last 3 periods. They have the worst goals against average in the Western Conference. And if there's one area that is Captain Obvious about needing to get shored up if they're going to get their footing, it's their defensive game and their net minding.
Carolina penalty number 6, Tim Gleason. Dallas penalty number
5 minutes each for fighting. Stars attack. Travis Moen. McClement's draped on him. Penalty coming up against McClement for draping, holding, whatever they want to call it. The late call, Alexiak fishing it out. Goes back in the net for Horkoff. Centered it, and a save Ward on McKenzie. Sagan with the extra attacker on for Jordy Ben. Back to Tyler Sagan. Sagan tried to pass it through. It's off a skate and drifts to center ice. Jordy Ben to Tyler Sagan. Swinging it over, and there's your whistle.
So this is a nice little opportunity for the Stars to change the momentum right after the tilt by Roussel. The hold, the pin, if you will, on the boards. Stars' fourth line got out here. We're grinding it out. So Trevor Daley leads the Stars. Our Ford leaderboard shows you the guys who have tallied the most on the power play for the Stars. Daley and Sagan up top with 7 between the two of them.
Been ticking downward. Razor mentioned it. They haven't been on the job much lately, but they've scored power play goals in only 2 of their last 9 games. Sagan for Eakin. He's trapped along the boards. Scrapping to try and keep it in, but Talusti finds it, backhands it down, and Anders Lindback's there.
Well, from my memory, this is the first time I think the Stars have split up Sagan and Spezza from the number 1 unit, trying to spread it out a little bit, have 2 units that you can go at the other team with.
Jamie Benn cutting his way into the zone against Belmore. Benn all the way around behind the net. Belmore pounded him. He stays with the puck, but then lost it, and Gerby cranks it in on Lindback, who was probably 9 feet tall when he reached up to get it.
No kidding. That might have hit the netting if he didn't grab it. This is almost like a must score, this power play.
Sagan to Ben at the line. Off to Eakin. They turn it over again, and that one's cleared.
You get this back to a one-shot game heading into the 3rd period. You feel better about how this middle frame is unfolded, but they can't get through these Canes.
Here comes the kid. Good pass to Hemsky into the zone. Hemsky trying to drag it past the Kara. Klingberg's over there, so Spezza, but Kirby overpowered them both to clear. 45 left on the man advantage. Nothing yet at Ward. Spezza took it over. Hacked off of his stick. Dwyer has plenty of space, and he crushes it. Half a minute remaining on the McClement minor. 1:25 left in the 2nd period. Here comes Klingberg. Pitching it in away from Falk. Spezza going after it. Cole got some of it. Klingberg has the rest. But Talusti attacked him. Shot it out for right to Goligoski. Moving in. Creeping away from Nash. Back of the net to Spezza. He lets it go to Hemsky. Unwinding it to Klingberg. Dropping it off to Hemsky. Penalty is over. Hemsky goes deep to Spezza. Off Cam Ward, and right to the man out of the box. It's McClement. He'll come to center ice and shoot it in. Klingberg took the man Cole the puck back of his net. 40 seconds remaining in the 2nd period. Launched into the zone, and Hainsey fires it out. Stahl drops the shoulder, pivots away to Skinner. A shot, save Lindback. He trailed the pad. McKenzie up ahead. Horkoff trying to move it further. McKenzie out of the corner. Hainsey stapled into the boards. Moen came in to dig it out. Skinner jumps on it. 5 seconds remaining in the period. Here comes Stahl. Jordy Benn's got the stick in his belly. Centering pass clear to the line. Hainsey won't get the shot away.
Well, they haven't been a very good lead team on home ice or tied team on home ice. They get to go to the riding crop here in the third period and try to come from behind in a stunning deficit after 40 minutes on home ice.
4-2 Carolina, 40 minutes into the game in Dallas.
Dallas Stars Hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Ford has the best offers on the best-selling trucks in Texas. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Stars led 2-0 after one. Carolina roared in like a hurricane. Chase Kari Lettman from the net. Anders Lindback took over late in the frame, and the Stars have to dig out of a 2-goal hole here, Razor, to start the third. How did they do that?
Well, I would doubt this third period has anything to do with X's and O's for the Stars. This is more about pride and stopping this thing in its tracks.
Hawk shot it ahead. Stahl trying to shake loose against Fiedler. A shot. He scores on the follow-up. And 9 seconds into the third, the Stars get punched right smack in the middle of the face.
It's incredible. Right off the draw. Stahl's the center iceman. Fiedler's the center iceman for the Stars. Loses position on him. Walks in. Scores on his own rebound. The knife not only deep into the Stars and their fans here tonight, it's being twisted.
It's the first time this season Carolina has scored 5 goals in a game. They scored 4 twice previously. Falk is in and a save there from Lindback. Lindback made the initial stop, by the way. It was the follow-up bid from Stahl. Goligoski fanned on it. And Lindholm's after it. So is Stahl. So is Talusti. Sagan's pass off the mark for Eakin at center ice. Sagan keeping Riley Nash away. Sagan into the middle. Ben trips up Semin, or Dillon, pardon me, trips up Semin, and Brendan Dillon will go to the penalty box.
Well, I can guarantee you every single thing the Stars talked about between periods got exploded in the first few seconds of this third period, and now it goes from that to having to kill. And you can see the look on their face. Jamie Benn's just shaking his head. They can't get out of this. They're not playing tight as a team recently anyway. There's no savior in behind them. It's just a mess right now.
Second power play of the game for Carolina. They're 1 for 1.
One of the least penalized teams in hockey, too, so
year after year they are.
yeah. Loose puck shot in. Lindback covers it as it came from Rask.
Well, an opportunity for Anders Lindback to come in, you thought, and, you know, it's different for a backup netminder to come into a game than it is to start a game. It's a different animal. Start a game, you think about it all day long, and sometimes work yourself into a froth where you don't play as well as you could. You come in and you just sort of take over and try to mop up. That was a tough one to give up immediately here in the third.
Face up to Lindback's left. Eakin and Riley Nash tie up. Daly's after the puck. Eakin finds it, chips it, wants to go against Falk. Rask covering up.
Number 12, Eric Stahl. Assistant number 27, Justin Falk. Number 4, Andre Sekera.
Falk and Sekera with the assists on that opening period tally. Lindholm turned back by Jamie Benn at the line. And there's Justin Falk passing forward to Gerby. 50 little guy, got it back. Tried to send it through, and Lindback's there to deny Rask on the doorstep.
Well, they just keep beating Dallas to the net, though. Skated well tonight, the Canes.
Nash holding it in. Kirby weaving his way. Puck rotating down toward the net. Now back out. Rask pushing it away. Puck spins to find it. And then passed it away to Sevier, who doesn't get out of the zone. Horkoff for Alexiak, and they shoot it down. They get Dillon back in 45 seconds. Colton Sevier in deep. He doesn't have a goal yet this season either. Eric Stahl hauling it forward. Into the Dallas zone, gave it to Skinner. Out on top, Sekera back to Skinner. Stahl's in front of the net now, behind it for the puck. He had Talusti in front, but he worked it out to Sekera, and now Skinner walking in, shooting, tipped wide. Stahl back of the net, centered it. Lindback got over to make the save on Lyles, and Goligoski gives it to Ben. Short-handed, Ben with Eakin. Ben following up Goligoski, a shot, they score! There's a little mood swing. Stars are back in the game at 5-3 early in the third.
This is the third shorthanded goal the Stars have scored against the Canes in 2 games, the last 2 games in this building. Cody Eakin makes this happen. Drives to the front of the net. There's a little bit of contact between the defenseman, Sekera, tries to block that one off with the defenseman and Eakin and Cam Ward. And it's just a mess. It's Lyles again. Man, he's been in the middle of a lot of that here tonight for them. Is it going to be Eakin's goal? It may have went off his body and in as Goligoski celebrates it, wafting through. If it's Alex's, it's his first of the season. And it's a needed answer goal to that immediate goal for the Gaines here in the third period.
Meanwhile, it is also his first point in 10 games, Alex Goligoski, in any case. Shorty Ben fell. Stars get Dillon back. So they kill it off. They get a shorty. See what they do here. Klingberg. Dwyer's draped on him. Back of the net for Jordy Ben. Banked it forward to Spezza. Kicked it on to Dillon. He's got Cole with him and others coming. Dillon leaves it for Cole. Hainsey bumped him against the boards. Spezza. Few options as the Stars are changing. Tied up with Belmore. Belmore twisted up. Puck cleared. And it's Goligoski going to hunt it down. Still plenty of time here. 16:35 to play in the third.
His third goal this season.
Shooting it in.
Scored by number 20.
Hemsky wrapping around the net. They're giving the goal to Eakin. Dillon shot it. Loose at the side for Spezza.
And number 14.
He holds it. Goes back out to Dillon.
Time of the Stars.
Shots blocked. Terry probing against Dillon, who kept the puck away, and Hemsky. Now to Ben, trying to get a step on Sekera. Ben curling up. Sekera closed it down. Goligoski drifting. Pass got through Ben. He's out at center ice to take it away. Goligoski ahead to the Carolina line. Ben finds it. Ben shot it just wide.
Oh my. What a scorcher that was. What a terrific pass by Goligoski.
Stahl counterattacking, and they're offside as Talusti is in just a step ahead of it. It was Eakin's goal from Goligoski and Ben.
When he said Eakin had a lot to do with it, he didn't just have a lot to do with it, he scored it earlier. There's that pass. Thread the needle. Ethereal little lead pass. Boy, that just caught the shin pad of Sekera, the defenseman. Back to that goal again. It just dropped like an egg over the line as Lyles and Eakin jostled for position, and Cody Eakin won that battle.
They'll take it. Belmore firing it in. Klingberg got it along. McKenzie to Horkoff at center, and back to McKenzie. Chips it past Belmore and goes after it. Belmore caught back with the stick. Jordy Ben holding the zone. McKenzie and Stahl grapple for the puck. Kane spit it out to center ice. Hainsey shot it back over. Lindback holding it back of the net. Jordy Ben idling with Gerby in for a look. Jordy Ben up off Sean Horkoff. Cam Ward shot it around. McKenzie centered it past everybody. Dillon kicked it back out. Alexiak from one knee. And Lyles lost out to Alexiak at center. He's tripped up on his way to the puck. Carolina firing it in to accommodate their change. No icing, and Brendan Dillon makes the turn. Here he comes. Spezza, Hemsky, and Cole ahead to the Carolina line. Oleksiak's there too. Spezza lost the puck at the line, and that's an offside call against the Stars.
I think that's indicative of what's gone on with the Stars. I mean, they're a non-confident group. Jason Spezza is one of the most smooth players in this league with the puck, and as he gets going, gets ahead of himself a little bit. You know the Stars are going to be aggressive. I mean, they have to be on their toes, try to keep things in. They're going to, if they play aggressive, they're going to break down from time to time. When they do, they have to get a save. Only way they're going to get this back to even.
Dylan to Klingberg, back across the grain for Spezza. Knifing his way through. Rask poke-checked it. Ball back of the net. Working his way out front. Then bumping Terry off the puck. Hemsky knocked it deep. Spezza back of the net. Sekera blanketing him. Spezza centered it. Tipped just wide in front by Ales Hemsky. And now Skinner's on the move into the Dallas zone. Klingberg played it away from him. Then cranks it out to center ice. Spezza leaves it for Hemsky. Alone at the line. He'll peel back and give it to Eakin, who's off the bench, but he lost it. Boychuk forwards. McClement, and they're offside. 13:38 left in the third period. Stars are on the board here with a shorty to match Stahl's early period marker. They still trail by a pair in the third.
February of 1996, they have lorded over the Carolina Hurricane Hartford Whaler organization. Our AT&T Uverse Rewind take you back to that afternoon game at Reunion Arena. A 5-3 victory by the Hartford Whalers on February 11th. Andrei Nikolitin with 3 assists for the Hartford Whalers. The goaltenders that day, by the way, Alan Bester against Jason Muzzatti. Robert Braun with the winner. Yuri Letnin had 2 goals in a losing cause, of course. That was the season the Stars finished with 26 wins. Gerald Diddick was on that Hartford team. He lives here now. Crazy.
So our children have never seen the Stars lose to this franchise.
They got that in their back pocket. They're going to need a couple of tallies just to get this thing back to even.
Cody Eakin swing and a miss out of his own zone. Tyler Seguin taking over the puck at center. He's got a goal in the game. Finds Ben at the line. Ben moving in. Shot from Eakin over the top of the net. Where is it? Out of play. Face-off stays in Carolina ice.
Hammered that one. Eakin was saying this morning, I asked him, did you play with Jamie last season? And he said, yeah, a few games. It didn't go all that well. They're hoping for something different here tonight. I actually think they've been a pretty good trio. A little cycle game when you have Eakin. He's attentive in 2 different directions. His 2 wingers have both scored in the game here tonight. Seguin and Goligoski talking over what they want to do if Jamie Benn can rip this back to them.
Ben's first face-up of the game. Cody has struggled a little bit with this. Ben wins it, but past Goligoski, and it's rolling on edge. Lindback storming out after it. He gets there first. Made that decision in a hurry. Belmore's pass ahead. Tipped in on Lindback, and he'll hold it.
But he's aggressive, and we saw that immediately in the preseason. He got beat trying to be aggressive way out, and it was an empty net, I think, against Tampa here. This time, Kirby's got great speed. He read that, came out, didn't force Goligoski to have to win that race.
Lindback is 6'6", 15, 26-year-old Swede. On in relief of Kari Lehtinen. Nice play by Klingberg. He springs Fiddler. Odd man attack. On the wing to Roussel. In front to Fiddler, and he tipped it wide.
Right idea there, right? The guy driving the net, throw the puck in the general vicinity. How they got the Eakin goal earlier.
12:40 to play in the third. 5-3 Canes. Semin to the Dallas line. Klingberg out, but right to Rask, who fought it at the line, and Roussel wants to go get it. He's picked up on his way to the puck. No call.
Should have been a penalty.
Roussel shot it. Ward made the save. Dillon tapped it back, but Fiddler wasn't where he thought he would be. Klingberg drawing Rask. Shot it out. Sevier was engaged with Belmore. Ward settles the puck.
now they're going to call that on Eric Cole. Wow. There have been, I think, 3 times here in the third period where the Stars have been bumped after a puck's gone through. The most egregious one, or obvious one, was the last one. Sells trying to get through, and his lane's impeded a little bit. I mean, there goes the puck. He just reaches out and grabs onto him on the way through. It should be interference. It wasn't. Carries on, and as Cole comes around in behind the net, trying to hurry Gleason, they bite on that one, and the Stars go shorthanded.
That's only his second penalty of the year, Eric Cole's, both minors. He's also the Stars' hit leader, so he plays a good, hard, clean brand of hockey.
The other thing he does, he draws a lot of power plays for the Stars.
Shot from Skinner, saved Lindback. Stars scored shorthanded last time. Lindback with another stop. Sekera to Skinner, stalls in front of the net to Lusty, is cruising through. Lyles has 2 assists in the game. Passing off. Sekera down the wing, Skinner to Lyles. Shooting it, saved. Lindback with the glove. Good stop.
Yeah, good stop and good posture from him. You know, there's a little confidence, a little bounce exuding from the crease, not only with saves, but obviously when he came traipsing out and played that puck just inside his own blue line. You mentioned Lyles, he's been in on almost all the offense in the game. I think he's been on the ice for all 3 Dallas goals. And a couple going the other way.
Things happen.
Yeah, it's
happen.
equal opportunity.
Pile up in the circle. Daly scrambles forward with Roussel and Fiddler. Onside. Daly draws a penalty.
The legs of Trevor Daly. Stars have scored when the 2 teams were playing 4 aside here. This is good hustle. Trying to break it. Looked like they were going to be offside. Roussel just barely kept himself onside, and then as Daly got attacked by almost all 4 Hurricanes on the way back, they end up having to foul him.
4-on-4 for 124. Spezza, Hemsky, Dillon and Klingberg. Spezza wins it. Hemsky taps it over. Klingberg settles the bouncing puck. Steps past to Lusty. Klingberg tosses it off to Hemsky. Hemsky goes back to the net. Spezza opens up. Hemsky shot it. Save Ward.
Boy, what a stop. What a stop. That time Hemsky did everything right. Wound around and got it elevated.
Hemsky's 4th shot of the game. Klingberg's back. He'll make the turn, and here come the Stars. He's got Sagan to his left and Dillon to his right. Klingberg gave it to Sagan. Sagan dusting it off, gave it to Dillon. Tip off the crossbar. Sagan holding the puck. Taking the slot. Still moving in against McClement. Dillon taps it on to Klingberg. His shot tipped. Save Ward. Dillon after the rebound, and Ward has the puck.
Well, there's your problem now, right? Cam Ward has a 2-goal lead, and he's bowing up. They came close. Hemsky first, then it just about off the top of the net, then the latest. Hemsky comes around. He's done this a lot, around the outside. Lots of time and space, goes against the grain, and Cam Ward on his knees just dares him to beat him. There's the deflection up, and right off the top of the crossbar. And then Sagan again. Good puck movement, lots of space out there, nice deflection, and Ward again, heroic.
32 shots this season for Ales Hemsky, and he can't yet find the net. Goligoski there challenging. It slipped free to Ben. Ben trying to kick it to his forehand. Tied up by Lyles. Nash moved it on. Gerby unable to beat Daly. Stars are on the power play in 20 seconds. It's 4-on-4 until then. And they'll be on the job for about half a minute. Gerby pressuring Alex Goligoski. Lost the puck and then got it back.
It's like a one-man forecheck, Gerby. It just works and works and works.
Goligoski taking it over. Passes to Ben. Hainsey wrapping him up. Ben to the open point. Cole is on. Power play starts for Dallas. And half a minute remains on it. Half a period to play. Boy, they could use one here. Jordy and Jamie side by side. Here comes Jordy Ben. He'll leave it for Jamie. To Sagan at center. Back to Ben. Kicked it over. Ben Walked into trouble along the boards. Roussel trying to barge through against Dwyer. Ben finds the puck back out to Klingberg. Goes to the middle. Shot it. That's blocked. Ben protecting the puck. Keeping Dwyer away. Ben into the corner. Seguin a shot. Save Ward. Falk is on. Power play is over. And he arrives just ahead of Ben to spring the Canes. Dwyer, Sekera into the Dallas zone. Dwyer a drive over the top of the net. McKenzie quickly ahead to Fiddler at center ice. Trying to step past Stahl. He does. Fiddler moving in. Met by resistance, and McKenzie gets in there with Gleason. Puck squirts free. Stahl trying to spin away from McKenzie. Gleason has it in the corner. Up ahead and across the ice to Bellemare with 9 minutes to play in the third. Bellemare is into the zone. Shot it. Lindback. It was going wide. He holds it and sends us to break with 8:54 left in the third. The Stars are pressing, but the Canes lead 5-3. 5-3 Hurricanes in the third. Enter for your chance to win 4 tickets to see the Stars, plus an opportunity to play in an on-ice intermission game that just might get you a brand new Kia. For official rules and to enter, visit DallasStars.com today. Keep preposition heavy. Fiddler, Victor Rask. Fiddler kicked it, but the Canes come up with it, and Bellemare to Skinner in the corner. Off his stick, Klingberg using the boards to get it along to Sevier. Houses the puck, finds Fiddler, sprinting in. Fiddler shooting over the top of the net. Sevier dug it out, fired it off the side of the goal. In front, McKenzie, a shot to save Ward. Fiddler trying to lose Bellemare. McKenzie taking it out, shooting it, and that went wide. Dillon cracks it in deep. Jumped off Sevier's stick. There's Klingberg arriving. Nudged it into the corner. Trying to play it off the boards. McKenzie and Klingberg side by side. Fiddler's in there with Hainsey, who worked it over to Bellemare. Dillon was picked off by Terry, and that allows them to move it to Rask. Center ice, the Dallas line, and he'll shoot it deep. Dillon lost Skinner. Hemsky finds the puck at the line. Here comes Ales Hemsky to Spezza. He shoots it. Trying to pick the corner, and he went up too high.
This line's been pretty good here in the third.
Goligoski moving toward the puck, but Tulowitzki snuck it past him. Or Lindholm, pardon me. Now Tulowitzki taking it into the Dallas zone. And Daly swats it away. Spezza on the turn again. Daly's with him. Hemsky and Cole in tow. Pass is blocked. Sekera holding it there. Stars skated past him. Hurricanes clear it. Daly has the puck with 7:25 to play. Spezza backhands it in. Cole in there for a hit on Sekera. Riley Nash passes forward, and Little Gerby shot it over. Goligoski ahead. Here comes Eakin down the wing. Gleason has him all wrapped up. Eakin escapes. Shot from Klingberg. Tyler Seguin puts him within a shot.
Well, there's some guys involved in this thing here, but Cody Eakin again driving the puck deep into the zone, pulls the Hurricanes down. Klingberg knew what he wanted to do. I swear he spied him before the puck came to him. A deft little tip off the back door. Perfect. No shot block or a skinny one up top. Seguin pops his second of the game. Stars are within a shot with a ton of clock left.
Sagan's 14th of the season from Klingberg and Eakin. Seguin found it at the line. Tried to hand it off to Eakin. It goes barging in there on Nash. Hurricanes clear it. Jordy Ben gets there first. We'll see how both teams handle this.
Yeah.
Eakin ahead to Ben. Ben and Seguin take the line. Ben to Seguin. Seguin a shot. That's blocked. And cleared. Got everybody's attention now.
Well, and they'll admit it themselves, the Stars. They're a much better team when they play loose and on the attack. You have to when you're trailing. They've been better here in the third period than we've seen them in the last couple of games.
Sekera rammed by Sevier. Goligoski unable to contain the puck along the boards. Daly being hounded by Boychuk moves it ahead to Fiddler at center ice. He'll fire it in out of the corner. Let Sevier go after it with Sekera, who played it to the wall. McClement up with the puck. On the boards to Dwyer into the Dallas zone. Couldn't move it to Boychuk, and Fiddler came back hard to help break that up with Horkoff. Under 6 to play. Shots 24-22 Carolina, 5-4. Canes lead. Stars had a lead of 2-0 early. Canes built a 5-2 cushion, and now it's 5-4, and Spezza had it poke checked away by Terry at the line. Hemsky giving chase. Terry falls in the Dallas zone. Cole got into a little bit of trouble. And then Dillon puts Skinner down. Here's Klingberg. Got 2 assists in the game. Lost Skinner rather easily. Gave it to Hemsky at the line. Bouncing it in wide of the net. Cole going in there hard with a check on Belmore. And icing coming against Carolina.
Well, that's been an avenue to success, I think, throughout the game. The kids got 2 primary assists, Klingberg on defense, but they're much better when they drive deeper into the attacking zone when they bring it in. When they try to make plays 5 feet inside that blue line, they turn pucks over, allowed the Canes to set up defensively. Huge advantage. Yeah, I suspected there'd be a timeout called by Bill Peters. Talk this one over. So Tyler Seguin, the NHL's leading goal scorer, has popped 2 more here tonight. Both of them have been assisted by Klingberg. Shot at the point. The first one, a twinkle toes. The second one, a deflection. He's had other opportunities too. He came close just a few shifts back. So the face-off win, 2 teams playing 4 aside. Eric Stahl wanted no part of getting out into that shot lane. Klingberg gets it through, goes off Seguin's skate. Same idea on that one. Klingberg at the point, rips it. Seguin with the deflection in behind. It's a nice little match. Shades of Zubov and Modano back in the day. And we have a wild one here. It's just, you can see it when you witness it from distance and you watch it night in, night out. It's crazy, mad fluctuations in confidence within the game. Bad things happen, they drop. Good things happen, they get on their toes.
They're on their toes here. Ben lost the faceoff. Goligoski trying to hold it at the line. Terry challenging him. He'll backpedal to get it. Hurricanes changing some of it anyway. In comes Stahl. It fell off the end of his stick, went wide. Ben tried to pass it forward to Eakin. And then Seguin escapes the puck at center ice. Stahl left it. Lindholm driving in. Lindholm around behind. Centered it to Stahl. Stars were ready for that. 4:40 to play in the third. 5-4 Carolina. And icing here again against Carolina.
A couple of those in a row, you know. Guys trying to protect the 1-goal lead. A little bit of panic on their back end with the puck. Bill Peters trying to hang on. They have the worst road record in the NHL heading into this road trip for them. Roared back in the second period, and they look like they're hanging on here right now.
Well, that's the thing. They have their ghosts too,
Yeah.
right? Oh, that puck almost came to Roussel in front. He's out here with Spezza and Hemsky. Klingberg manipulates that puck onto Spezza. Twisting it over to Hemsky. On top to Klingberg. A shot. That hits one. Rebound. Spezza. Up high and wide. Hemsky holding it. Passing over to Dillon. Roussel's in front. He tried to go across with it, and Falk knifes it out of play with 4:09 left in the third period. Tyler Seguin has 2 in the game. John Klingberg set them both up, and the Stars need 1 to tie late.
Well, there's a ton of passion and lots of go in the Stars here late, trying to tie this game forward and change to go. Down 1 to the Hurricanes. They came close moments ago again. Klingberg, if they can just leave him on the ice for the final 4 minutes, might work out for them. They got a juicy rebound off his point shot, and as Spezza was trying to settle it down, he settled it and whacked it wide. It was a rolling puck. You could see it go off the outside of the net. They came close. The herd at the net. Good look with slow-mo at just how close it was. Stars scored 4 goals in the previous 9 third periods on home ice. They have 2 here in the third tonight, and they might not be done yet.
Wouldn't this be a perfect time for Ales Hemsky to find it?
It would.
Oh. Betson McClement. McClement's one of the league's best center icemen in the faceoff circle. He wins that one, but it goes to Hemsky in the corner. Tossed it back out to Dillon. Klingberg couldn't quite handle the pass. It's chipped past him, and now the Stars are chasing. Riley Nash is in, moved it over, backhand score, Eric Staal!
They just can't remove the dark cloud. You feel for Brendan Dillon. Last game, he tried to make a cutesy pass. They turned it over. This time he gets it, just tries to get it to his defense partner, and instead throws one away from him a little bit. Nash, Staal, they jump the route. Staal slips it. Tweener's on Lindback. The save they needed. You knew they were going to break down at some point as they roared back, and the Stars surrender their sixth. The captain pots that one, and with 4 minutes to go, the Stars are down by 2 again.
But there is still time. Staal's fifth, second of the game. Riley Nash with the lone assist. Let's see here. Goligoski. Eakin got it out. Here comes Daly. Ben's on the wing. Daly pitches it in. Daly going after the puck. Daly to Ben. It's off a skate. Loose. Ben trying to kick at it. Eakin going in after the puck. Goligoski couldn't keep it. Dwyer tossed it out, and Sagan keeping Gerby from a breakaway. Daly from center. No icing. Eakin back there. Zakara lost it. Ben found it. Eakin back of the net. Sagan's in front. Eakin tried to cram it. Ward has the puck long enough for the whistle, and a pile up to his left with 3:17 left.
He was trying to spy people in front. The two defensemen stayed right on their blue lines rather than creeping in on that one, and they tried the little cram from in behind. Daly with the wild legs cruises his way through everybody in white. They throw it at the net again, which has been a good equation for the Stars in the game. Hunt one down deep. Eakin has it down deep. He's looking for someone to get it to, and finally says, well, I'll just try to cram one. But they're outnumbered. It's 3 against 6. You include the goalie down low. They need an extra guy in there.
Fiddler. Try it again with McClement. Fiddler tossing it back to the line. That's Klingberg working it, shooting it off Ward. Rebounds loose. Sevier went after it. Was pitched past him. And Staal backhands it out. Klingberg has 2 assists in the game. Passing forward. Sevier a little too far for Horcoff, but Fiddler's going to barrel in there for it against Hainsey. Sevier in the corner. Back of the net for Vern Fiddler. He overskated the puck. Jordy Ben. Full pinch down low and into the corner. He's in check. Sevier waiting. Fiddler trying to cram it loose. Belmore takes it back of the net. Sevier harassing him all the way around. Horcoff put his stick in there. Another pile up. Horcoff has it out to the side. Now back of the net. Fiddler turning to Sevier. It's off a skate. Didn't quite get to him. And from center ice, Staal shoots it in. Carolina rolls over another change, and clock winding down on Dallas. 2:20 to play, and they need 2. Klingberg up ahead to Sagan. Here comes Tyler Sagan with a pass to Ben. Ben goes back to Sagan. He's tied up, and the puck follows him toward the corner. Eakin in there against McClement. Sagan upended. Spezza's out on the ice, too. Extra attackers on for the Stars. They center it. Sagan settled it down. Back out to Goligoski. Ben's at the other point. Into the corner for Spezza. Twisting away from McClement. Daly's behind the net. Daly passing it off and getting it back. Looking interior, then into the corner. Sagan threw it in front. Eakin's tripped up. They wanted a call. They don't get it. Terry pushed it forward. Goligoski up ahead to Sagan. He got it over to Ben. Ben in. Ben all the way around. Then back out to Daly. He shoots it. Tipped just wide. Sagan in front of Eakin. Save Ward. Daly rescuing. Down to Sagan. He stops it. He shoots it. That's blocked. Gerby's over there. So's Ben, and it's cleared. Rolling on edge. It won't go far enough for icing with 70 seconds left, and the Stars need 2. Big boys have a seat. Long pass ahead, Spezza.
Gloved out of the zone, right back to Spezza, who was on his way to the bench. Tried to hammer it in, and it went off a cane and into the stands with under a minute to play, and probably a timeout coming from Lindy Ruff.
Well, yeah, you needed the game to stop in order for him to rest his top guys here. Just under a minute to go. You can see the anguish. The effort has been evident. Just not enough execution defensively, and they may run out of time offensively. Good heads-up shot by Daly. Beautiful deflection that missed by a whisker with Eakin in front. Cody Eakins played his fanny off here tonight again. No shock on that one.
No timeout here. They'll stay with this crew. Stahl wins the face-off. Pitch toward Klingberg. Couldn't handle it, and Sevier took it away from Stahl, who now has an empty net. Shot it wide. Sevier up ahead to Cole. Here come the Stars. Cole from outside the line. Into Fiddler. Fiddler backhand. Save Ward. Rebound. Pile up, and it's under Cam Ward with 39 seconds to
Drive the net in that one. So they get a shift out of that crew. They get it just about as they hop on this Cole. Take the line, drive the net, try to chunk something in inside all 3 guys, 4 guys. Cruising around this one, and Cam Ward has made some stops here in the third. He's been beaten 4 times in the game, and he has made some large saves for the Hurricanes. Timeout here now. Yeah.
Timeout Dallas, Stars, timeout.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? The knot that they're in right now. They can't get every part of their game going consistently. You know, they've had losses here on home ice where they've scored plenty of goals and not been able to stop enough. There have been times when they haven't been able to score enough.
Well, for their last home game, they get beat 2-1. You know, when they allow 22 shots and they get beat 2-1. Tonight they allow 25 shots and they give up 6 goals.
Well, whatever the scheme is to score 2 goals in 40 seconds, they've been instructed as to how to go about their business. Klingberg's played a heck of a game for the Stars here tonight. Again.
2 assists, sneaking up on 24 minutes. He's played 25 in each of the last 2. He's out here.
Funny, too, because Lindy Ruff talked about not wanting to overwhelm him. It's tough to leave him off the ice right now, though.
Then you look down, and there he is. Spezza wins it. Klingberg at the right point. Passes off to Ben. Ben shooting it, tipped out of play.
Hey, Jason Spezza wins a lot of important, but he's one of those guys that when it's an important draw, and he's a good face-off man anyway, but whether it's a face-off late, trying to protect the lead in your own zone, or like this, he can give you possession. On you.
Klingberg kept it in at the line. Bangs it over. Daly unable to hold it. Stahl's out there sniffing for the empty netter for the hat trick. Klingberg. Head up. Pass ahead. He got it through to Ben. Daly following up. Sagan trying to center it, knowing that they need 2. He wanted to go right to the net. Klingberg to Spezza. In front to Falk. And this one's off a player on the Canes bench, and Carolina will win this game.
Well, the team that came in struggling to score has scored. The team that came in struggling to keep the puck out of their net lived up to the billing on home ice again, where the Stars surrendered 6.
It's funny, too. I mean, the Stars have outshot the opposition now 9 times this season. They're 1-6-2. So even when they do, you know, go on the attack and get goals, it's the leak at the other end. Spezza wins the draw. There's the horn.
Man, this is a crusher, though. This was their night to stop things up and start this homestand in the right direction. Things looked rosy after the first period. The Canes, this is the first time they've come from behind when trailing after the first period to win. A cataclysmic second period sunk the Stars here tonight.
The number 3 star in tonight's game from the Carolina
So they dropped the first game of the 5-game homestand. The woes continue for the Dallas Stars, who have some things again to build on, but not enough to win the game. Tonight's broadcast produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio. The associate producers are John Sponsler, Doug Foster, and Cody Eastwood. Nick and Waddle are upstairs here with me and Razor. It's always good to be at the American Airlines Center with our fine crew here. And for Razor, I'm Ralph. Post-game show is coming up now.